This is the Goldmine segment of the podcast where we dig out the small, unexpected lessons hidden in the everyday work of running a business. I'll share one, we'll pull out the takeaway, and let's add it to our shared stash. You know what no one tells you? The least sexy part about marketing or running a business is that it's the long game. For as long as you want your business, you're going to be doing marketing. It doesn't stop once you hit some milestone. It doesn't magically resolve after a successful campaign. In fact, as your business grows, marketing usually gets more complex, not less complex or less important. Yeah, you can absolutely decide one day you don't want to play that game anymore. You can choose to step away from your business, pivot, or shut it down entirely. That's valid. But if you want to stay in the long game, then this is what you're signing up for, this long haul. And that reality feels really heavy sometimes. I've been thinking about this a lot because my natural tendency is to sprint, not physically sprint. I actually hate running, but work-wise, I sprint. When I have a goal in my head, I go full tunnel vision, head down, fully dedicated, all in. And that works and is a great characteristic to have when the finish line is close and you can get there and it's in sight. But when the goal is actually a long game, like what I just described, something that could take years, maybe something that never truly ends, this sprinting mentality really backfires on you. I treat what should be a marathon like it's a short race, and therefore I burn myself out. And that's not even the hardest part of that experience. The hardest part, in my opinion, is the loneliness of this long game that you might be trying to sprint if you're like me. Even if you've got people around you, partners, collaborators, a team, clients, customers, you're the one who has to hold the vision and hold it for a very, very, very sustained period of time. You're the one making the hard calls, evolving with each change, setting boundaries that sometimes distance you from people or situations that no longer fit. And the longer you're in this long game, the more you end up face to face with yourself. And that can be very isolating. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. I spend a lot of time on business and marketing Reddit, where a lot of people vent these frustrations. And I'm also in a few groups of business owners, both in person and online. And we talk about this. We see it all the time. People sharing honestly about the grind, about how long they've been playing their own long game. And even sometimes the moment they realize it doesn't fit anymore, when people are deciding to pivot or even deciding to shut it down completely, or just totally reinvent themselves. And I love reading and hearing about those stories, especially when they're really candid and honest, because they are reminders to me that even a long game, the same long game, can change, and you're allowed to change it. You don't have to stay locked into the thing you committed to maybe years ago. So what's the takeaway here? For me, it's remembering that the long game also has to live in context too. And this is a reminder that I have to internalize with my tendency to want to sprint, just run as fast as I can, just get to the finish line. This all has to fit inside the bigger picture of your whole life, with your short-term goals, with your other long-term goals, with your health, with your relationships, and with your happiness. The long game is not everything, even if it sometimes feels like it's everything for its length. And if you're naturally intense or hyper-focused like I am, I think it's really, really easy to forget that. At the end of the day, the long game isn't just about building a business. It's also about building a life around it, because that's what it's all about. And if you can pace yourself, stay open to change, and also try to surround yourself with people who get it too, then the long game doesn't feel quite so long. And I think the positive way to look at it, because long game can sound and feel daunting, is when you take these positive steps and you change the mindset around it. Then the long game becomes and feels like and enriches you with growth and your ability to evolve into a better version of yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and check out my other videos for even more tips.